USB Type-A. USB Type-A is the classic rectangular connector that most people recognize immediately. It first appeared in the 1990s as part of the original Universal Serial Bus standard, created to replace the many different connectors used by computers. For many years, it became the default charging cable for phones, cameras, keyboards, and countless other devices. One end of the cable usually plugs into a computer or charging adapter, while the other end connects to a different connector. Although newer ports are becoming more common, USB Type-A is still found in millions of chargers, power banks, cars, and desktop computers around the world. Its biggest limitation is that it can only be inserted in one direction, which often leads to the familiar experience of flipping the connector until it finally fits. USB Type-B. USB Type-B has a nearly square shape and is mainly designed for larger electronic devices rather than phones. It became common on printers, scanners, audio equipment, and some external hard drives. The connector is larger and stronger than many other USB plugs, making it suitable for equipment that usually stays in one place. While it can transfer both power and data, its main purpose has always been connecting peripherals to computers. As wireless printing and newer USB standards have become more popular, USB Type-B is much less common today, but it still appears on many office and professional devices. Mini USB. Mini USB was one of the first attempts to shrink USB connectors for portable electronics. During the early 2000s, it became popular on digital cameras, MP3 players, GPS units, and early smartphones. At the time, manufacturers needed something smaller than the full-size USB connector while still keeping good durability. Mini USB served that role well for several years. However, as devices became even thinner and smaller, manufacturers searched for an even more compact solution. That led to the development of micro USB, which gradually replaced mini USB across most consumer electronics. Micro USB. Micro USB became the standard charging cable for Android phones for more than a decade. Introduced in the late 2000s, it was designed to be thinner, stronger, and capable of surviving thousands of insertions. Besides smartphones, it powered Bluetooth speakers, wireless headphones, game controllers, e-readers, cameras, and many other gadgets. Because so many companies adopted it, micro USB became one of the most widely used charging connectors in history. Like USB Type-A, it only fits one way, which many users found inconvenient. Today it is slowly disappearing as USB-C replaces it, but millions of micro USB devices are still used every day. USB Type-C. USB Type-C is the newest major USB connector and is becoming the universal standard for charging and data transfer. Unlike older USB plugs, it is completely reversible, so either side works when plugging it in. Introduced in 2014, it was designed to support much faster charging speeds, higher data transfer rates, and even video output through the same connector. Today it charges smartphones, tablets, laptops, gaming consoles, headphones, cameras, and many other devices. Governments and manufacturers have increasingly supported USB-C because using one connector for many products reduces electronic waste and makes charging much simpler. Lightning. Lightning is Apple's proprietary charging connector that replaced the older 30-pin dock connector in 2012. It first appeared with the iPhone 5 and quickly became the standard connector for iPhones, iPads, AirPods, and many Apple accessories. Like USB-C, Lightning is reversible, making it easy to plug in without checking its orientation. Although smaller than the older connector it replaced, Lightning was designed before USB-C became widely available. As Apple gradually transitions many of its products to USB-C, Lightning is becoming less common, but it remains one of the most recognizable charging cables in the world. 30-pin Apple connector. The 30-pin Apple connector was used on iPods, early iPhones, and the first generations of iPads. Introduced in 2003, it combined charging, data transfer, audio, and video into a single connector. At the time, it was an advanced design because one cable could perform many different tasks. Its large size eventually became a disadvantage as mobile devices became thinner and more compact. Apple replaced it with Lightning in 2012, marking the end of nearly a decade of widespread use. MagSafe. MagSafe is a magnetic charging connector originally developed by Apple for MacBook laptops. Instead of locking firmly into the laptop, it attaches magnetically, allowing the cable to disconnect safely if someone accidentally pulls on it. This simple idea helped prevent countless laptops from falling off desks. Apple later introduced a newer version of MagSafe for iPhones, where magnets built into the phone align the wireless charger perfectly every time. Although the laptop and phone versions work differently, both share the same goal of making charging safer and more convenient. MagSafe 2. MagSafe 2 is a slimmer version of the original MacBook charging connector. Apple introduced it alongside thinner MacBook designs, reducing the connector's size while keeping the magnetic safety feature. Existing MagSafe chargers could still work with newer laptops by using an adapter, helping users continue using their older accessories. Eventually, Apple replaced MagSafe with USB-C charging on many laptops before later bringing back a redesigned MagSafe system for newer MacBook models. USB-C magnetic cable. USB-C magnetic cables combine the USB-C standard with detachable magnetic tips. One part stays inside the device while the cable connects magnetically to it. This design reduces wear on the charging port and allows the cable to disconnect easily if it is pulled. These cables are made by third-party companies rather than being part of the official USB standard. While many people appreciate the added convenience, compatibility and charging performance can vary depending on the manufacturer. Barrel connector. The barrel connector is one of the oldest charging cable designs still in widespread use. It consists of a round plug that fits into a matching circular power socket. For decades it has powered laptops, routers, speakers, monitors, and many household electronics. One challenge is that barrel connectors come in many different sizes and voltage ratings, so cables are often not interchangeable even if they look almost identical. Despite the rise of USB-C charging, barrel connectors continue to serve many devices that require dedicated power supplies. DC pin connector. The DC pin connector is another common style used mainly for laptop chargers. Instead of a hollow center like some barrel connectors, many versions include a metal pin inside the charging port that matches the charger plug. Companies such as Dell and HP have used different versions of this design over the years. Some even include extra communication lines that allow the laptop to identify the charger and adjust charging behavior. Although USB-C is replacing many proprietary laptop chargers, DC pin connectors are still found on countless older and business-class laptops. Magnetic watch charger. Magnetic watch chargers are designed specifically for smartwatches. Instead of plugging into a visible charging port, the charger uses magnets to align itself with charging contacts or a wireless charging coil built into the watch. This design helps keep the watch resistant to water and dust because there is no open connector to seal. Apple Watch, Samsung Galaxy Watch, and several other smartwatch brands use different versions of magnetic charging systems. Even though they look similar, they are usually not compatible with each other. Proprietary charging cable. Proprietary charging cables are connectors designed by a specific manufacturer for its own products. Before USB became common, many companies created unique charging ports for phones, cameras, handheld game consoles, and music players. These connectors often allowed extra features that standard cables could not provide at the time. The downside was that users needed a separate charger for each device. As industry standards became more widely accepted, proprietary charging cables became much less common, though they still exist for certain specialized products. Wireless charging cable. Wireless charging cables are different from traditional charging cables because they transfer energy without requiring a physical connection between the charger and the device. Instead of sending electricity through metal contacts, they use electromagnetic fields to move power from a charging pad or stand to a compatible device. The technology behind wireless charging is based on electromagnetic induction. A coil inside the charger creates an energy field, and a matching coil inside the device receives that energy and converts it into electricity. Fast charging cable. Fast charging cables are designed to support higher levels of electrical power compared with traditional charging cables. As smartphones and portable devices became more advanced, users wanted shorter charging times, leading manufacturers to develop faster charging technologies. A fast charging cable must be built with materials and internal wiring capable of safely carrying more electricity. Simply connecting a standard cable to a powerful charger does not always provide faster charging because the cable itself may limit the amount of power transferred.